All right, for my Leo people, this is a quick December general reading. So again, it's not going to resonate with everyone. Take what does, leave what doesn't. I was only supposed to pull out one card, but 3 cards fell, so we're going to take them all right away. I am going to say that your meditation was funny because don't ask me why, but Spirit just showed me William Shatner, the guy who was the Captain James Kirk or whatever his name was in Star Trek. It did show me him older though, not younger, but that's all I kept thinking about was that's all I kept thinking about was Star Trek, William Shatner. So I Googled and I was like, what was his personality like? Well, they describe his personality as somebody who's very charismatic, but at the same time very commanding. So like charming, but at the same time kind of like a conceited ego. And so that describes some of you if you fit the category. Maybe you're somebody who's very charming or commanding, but at the same time your ego kind of like gets in the way, or people kind of like be like, oh, he got an attitude, or she got an attitude, or they think they're too much of the shit. And they're funny and they're cool and they're, very attractive, or they're funny and they're cool, and there's somebody like that gets attention, but sometimes it can be perceived wrong or it does come out wrong. So the first card that came out for you was friendliness. Now, if you look, this is two different trees, right? And they're trying to like connect, but for whatever reason, they're still independent. So I feel like for you guys, Spirit is saying for the month of December, there's some area of your life where it's like, you try to connect with certain people or with in certain situations, but for whatever reason, you still also try to maintain your independence, or you still get separated as an independent. So it's like you have this like friendliness going on about you, but at the same time you never take it to the next level, or your attitude, or you're charismatic, you're good looking enough to attract someone or people to want to be with you, but for whatever reason you kind of stay stagnant, or you stand your ground where you're just like, I'm not really ready yet, I'm not ready to make that commitment, I'm not ready to come together with you wholeheartedly. So the next card that came out was ripeness, and Spirit was like, the problem with that is, when are you going to be ripe? At some point, the fruit has to get ripe enough to fall from the tree. So Spirit is like, okay, might be the type of person who kind of like goes through life where it's like, you attract people and you attract things, but at the same time, you still keep your distance. You still protect yourself. You don't fully commit to things, or you don't fully come together with people because you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And Spirit is like, well, the fruit, once it gets ripe, it falls off the tree. So if you don't pick it before it falls off the tree, it's going to hit the ground, and the worms and things and the bugs and the animals and everything else is going to get it. So you better stop waiting to ripen, or you better stop waiting for the ripest fruit, because you might miss the mark. So there's some area of your life where it's like Spirit is telling you, maybe you need to stop trying to be so quote unquote single. Like, stop trying to be single in a relationship, or stop trying to be so independent where you feel like you can't really connect with people. Stop waiting, because if you're waiting and waiting and waiting, the fruit is going to ripen and it's going to fall off the tree and you're going to miss it. It's going to hit the ground before you catch it. The other thing I do get from this could be that maybe something is ripe, something is ready. Maybe you've waited and now you finally found the right job or the right person, and Spirit is like, it's time. The fruit is ripe. Come out of the friend zone, or make commit, be more involved, because the time is right. Now, this card here is funny to me because we're talking about somebody who's kind of very like ego driven. And this is a person who's like holding on to their material things, very materialistic. So again, I think Spirit is saying, you're holding on too tightly to like material things and money, and you're placing that value over certain other things, and maybe you're like keeping your distance and you're not putting yourself out there fully, or you're not allowing yourself to connect fully in certain situations. But this is a month where Spirit is like, maybe you need to get that in check, because the fruit is about to fall. The fruit is ripe and it's about to fall. And if you're too busy focused on material things and got your back turned, you're going to miss it. You're not going to catch this fruit. The fruit's going to spoil. It's going to get eaten, it's going to get taken. So, and you'll be right back where you were, still kind of standing alone. And granted, being alone or being off to the distance or not being committed to certain things is fine, but there's something Spirit is saying you're holding on too tightly to one thing, and because of that, you're going to miss out on something else. Possessions, you don't have to be possessive of people or things. That doesn't determine your value, that doesn't determine your worth. What determines your value and determines your worth is the ability to connect and put yourself out there. You don't want to come across as this person who's always like too independent or too ego driven or too materialistic. And remember, the fruit is either ripe now, ready for picking, and Spirit is saying now is the time to let go of like these control issues so you can become one with whoever or whatever this is. Or Spirit is saying you're about to miss it. It's about to fall and, whatever. You know what? Because of that, I think I'm just going to get a love card for you. So for Leo, December, Spirit is like money and material things you're holding too tightly. You put too much emphasis, too much focus on that. You're about to miss all these other things, the beauty of life or the people around you, because the fruit is ripe. It's right there. It's ready for you to pick. And if you don't pick it, it's going to fall and you're going to miss it. Oh, look, trust. This situation is calling for trust. So there's C. Spirit is like, you have to trust. You have to start learning how to trust and give in to people, or you have to start learning how to let your guard down and trust people more, or whether it comes to love and relationships, maybe trusting yourself more. Like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to be, more committed to this person or this friendship or this relationship. Trusting people more so around your things. I don't know if you're like too in control, like control and trust issues. You're like, okay, I don't trust nobody. I have control issues. I don't want nobody touching my stuff. I don't want nobody getting too close to me. I don't want nobody seeing the real me, even though they're ripe and I'm ripe and we're ready to be picked. But instead I'm going to let it fall and I'm going to miss it if I don't learn to trust others or trust myself. I don't know why, but maybe the number 4, so August 4th could be important, or maybe the 14th, maybe the 9th, or maybe the 2nd. So if you were born on August 2nd, August 9th, or August 4th, maybe this resonates more strongly with you. Maybe even the 12th, 19th, and the 14th. I don't know. Maybe if you're 29 years old when you're listening to this, or maybe if you were born in the year of 1994 when you're listening to this. Maybe if you're 24 years old, and I keep looking backwards, so maybe if you're 42 years old, maybe this resonates for you if you're someone who's 42. But if you want a personal read, follow me at JaylinK79 on Instagram or www.designhertouch.com. You can get a personal read sent to you through a private YouTube link.